Hello everyone, so in the last video we built out this page all the way to the bottom, and in this video I want us to begin to build out the pay online page, which is this one that is currently reflected. So I think this page is a bit more technical on the side of layout, but it doesn't have that much functionality to it. It's just playing around with the layout a bit, and of course we're going to be reusing some components such as this one and the footer. So right away, let's go ahead, and what I've done, as always, what I do before every video, is I have prepared the images so that we can jump right ahead into building out the website. So when you clone the repository, you're going to have access to these images, and you can see that I have a new folder that is called Pay Online. So inside Pay Online, I have the hero images. I have the first image here, the second image, the third image, and so on all the way, all the necessary images basically. And that is what we're going to be doing. So therefore, the first thing that I'm going to do is inside my pages folder, I'm going to create a new folder that is called Pay Online. Obviously, I've already created it. So inside the Pay Online folder, I'm going to create a new file that is called hero.js. And then inside this file, I'm going to say RFC. RFC, if my extension is going to work today. There we go. And then once I have hero displayed here, then I'm going to go inside my Pay Online JS. Now this is the main page file. Okay, this is the main page file. And then now instead of just displaying Pay Online, I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to return a fragment, and I want to display the hero component that we have just created, which is coming from ./payonline/hero. So make sure that you're referencing this correctly, because we know that even in the personal page we have a hero.js. So just make sure that you're referencing the files correctly so that you display the correct file. Now when I save this, then obviously we're not going to see anything on the screen because we are in the wrong route. But if I navigate into /pay-online, then we should be able to see reload. I hate it when it does this. Sometimes it takes a while to compile. I don't know why it does that, but it does that anyway. So let's just wait a moment. And not as we're waiting, let's just continue building this out. And I've just noticed, by the way, what we need to do is we need to change the document title depending on the page that we are on. So I hope I remember to do that. All we need to do is just implement a use effect function, which is going to change the document title. And there we go. So it has reloaded. So once it reloads, you can see that we now display hero on the top left, and that is what we want. So right away, let's begin to build out this first page, this first hero section. And let me see what we need to do. We need to create a component here, a section. So inside hero.js, let us first return a fragment because I like fragments. And then let's create a section with a class of pay-online. Let me make it one word, so pay-online-hero, like so. And then we're going to add a background image to this. And then inside here, we're going to have a div with a class of overlay. And then inside here, we're going to have an h1 that says this, check out in a few clicks, paste it here. And then below this, we're going to have a paragraph that says this, this. And then below this paragraph, we're going to have a button with a class of btn-blue, which is going to say sign up and start shopping. Sign up and start shopping. And then below this paragraph, we have a link that says shop online with PayPal. So because I'm not going to create this link, so I'm going to create a button and then style it out to look like a link. So below this button, we're going to have another button that says shop online with PayPal. Okay, and then let's save this and let's begin to style this out just to see what we're going to have on the screen. You can see that obviously only our button displays because only the button has the styling applied to it because of this custom class that we created. Now the first thing that I want to do is inside our CSS, let me close this part. I don't need this. Where is it? Inside our CSS, let me go below this. Let me create the pay online dash showcase. And then obviously we need to give it a fixed height because of the background image. And in order to begin with, I don't think we are going to give a fixed height to the mobile version. Or you know what, just to be safe, let's give it a fixed height, because I don't want to add massive paddings like this, right? So let me go ahead and say give it a height of 500 pixels and then save it, and then let's see how it looks. Height of 500 pixels. Does it even reload pay online showcase? Does it reload pay online dash showcase? What do I call it? Hero. I called it hero. Oh my god. So pay online hero, and it should now increase the height. There we go. And then I want to add the background image. So background, we are going to come take it from URL from /images / pay online / it is called is it BG? Because I know this one has two images. Yeah, so there's this BG image, and then there's the font image that we're going to add. So we need to add in both of them. Okay, therefore let's do this. Let me see. Let's increase the height of this image to about 600 here, and then let's go inside the pay online. I can just spell it, and then inside the overlay, let's give the overlay a height of 600 pixels as well, so that when we justify content, then the content is going to come to the center just like it is here. And then now we can go ahead into our component here, into our hero actually. And then I've just realized that we have two articles here, or two divs if you want to use divs. The first div is this one that has the text, and then the second one is the image here. So let's go ahead and restructure a bit. So we're going to grab everything inside this first div, and because I've used a div here, I just want to use an article so that it doesn't confuse me that much. So we're going to use an article which is going to have the text here, and then we're going to have another article which is going to have this background image. Now we're going to get that background image, and I'm just going to say import font from /, or /, and then /, and then images / pay online / let me just get the correct name. It is by _ on websites _ hero _ fg _ 1x.png. Very long name. I should have renamed it, but I wasn't feeling in the mood. Okay, and then let's display the image here. Let's display the font image, and when I save this, then you should be able to see it right here. Okay, now what you'll notice is that on mobile screens, then we can't really see this image that we have. That is because it introduces a scroll bar here on the bottom. I don't know why they implemented it like that, but that's how it's implemented. Of course, we're not going to do that. We're going to make everything responsive. But for mobile screens, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show this image. So what I'm going to do here is inside this article, I'm going to give this a class name of hidden, which means display none, sorry. And then on large screens, then I'm going to say display it as a block element. So on mobile screens, it's going to be hidden, as you can see. And then on large screens, it's going to show up. And then let's deal with the functionality to bring all this to the center. But first, let's add a max width so that this doesn't go all the way to the end. So I'm going to go inside the class of overlay, and I'm going to give it a max width of 6xl, and then mx auto to add an equal margin on the left and right so that everything pushes to the center. And then I'm going to change this into a flexbox, and then I'm going to say items -center and justify -center, which is going to center everything. There we go. And the reason why it centers everything is because, where is it? We added a fixed height here. That's why it centers everything properly within the image. Now let's see. What we need to do is we need this to take up 50% of the screen, because you can see that it takes up just a bit more. So what we're going to do is inside the hero, we're going to go inside this article and give this article a class name of flex-1. And then let's just copy this class of flex1 and then paste it here as well. And that should do it. There we go. And then now let's begin to style this out. So let's grab this h1. The h1, wait a minute. The h1 should be styled the same way for every page. So let me see how I did it in the personal page inside the hero. The h1, this one. Let me just copy these classes, copy, and then let me paste them inside here, and then change this into text slate. Let me see, 600, and this is not slate. Should it really be slate or what? Let's see, check out in a few clicks. Let me see, 800, and then because I want to add a gap here, let me go ahead and say here add a gap of 16 just to separate it out. And then let's reduce the size of this because it's a bit too big, so we don't need the 6XL here, we can remove it. Let's see, and then we don't need the max width as well. We don't need the max width, we don't need the MX auto. We can add a margin bottom of 8. I noticed that they in this website they don't really add margin bottoms on the headings, but I don't like it, so I'm going to add a margin bottom here of 4, and that should do it. Let me see. Okay, and then let me go inside the paragraph, give this a class name of let's say that for large screens the text should go into large to make it bigger, and then the text should be slate 700. Okay, and then let me say font bold, margin bottom of 8. I think that is much better. And then let's deal with this button here, which is technically a link. So here, shop online, give this a class name of underline, and then text blue dash 600. And wait a minute, actually that's it. Okay, font bold, so font dash bold, and then let me say margin bottom of margin top of 10 to push away from this button, and that should be it. Yeah. Well, the underline is only on hover, so let's say that on hover, then the underline should show up. Let's see, there we go. That is looking nice. And then now what we need to do is we need to grab this image and bring it here on the bottom. So let me see if I can do that, and if I'm unable to do that, then I'm not really going to mess with it that much, but let me just try. So give this a class name of absolute. Actually, is that correct? Absolute is going to mess up with a lot of things. So you know what, let me make it relative, and then let me bring it to the bottom by 0. That should bring it here or not. If I change it to absolute, it's going to mess up with many things, you can see. But then I can make the div to be relative, and that should work. So relative, that should bring it here. Okay, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. I had a temporary memory lapse, but it works. Okay, so next let's go ahead and build up this section. And for this section, I'm just going to build it up because it is just the same concept that I used in the last video. That I don't want to create a separate component for this because I don't think we're going to be using this anywhere else. If we are, then I'm going to extract it into a separate component, but for now it's just going to remain inside here. So I'm going to go below this section. So below this section, I'm going to create a div with, let me see, I can create this to be another list with the list items, and then the list item can have a span that says the number and then the text here. So copy and paste it, and then let me just tell it out just to see whether I'm going to get the correct thing. So let me get this color. I have this extension that is called color picker eyedropper. Let me get this color, copy, and then inside this UL, or rather inside this div, I'm going to give this style of background color and add this in. Let's see. Okay, the text here, let's now give it a class name. Let's say text dash white. Let's say padding on the Y of 10 to increase this padding. Fantastic. Okay, and then let's give this UL a class name of max width dash 6XL and MX auto so that it doesn't go all the way to the end. And then let's give it a padding X of 8 so that on mobile screens it pushes inwards just a bit. Oh, and you know what, I've just realized I should probably add the padding here as well. Let me see. Yeah, see how it looks? I forgot to add the padding here. So inside this section, let's add, sorry, not inside the section, but inside the div, let's add a padding on the x of 8 to push things inwards. There we go. And probably this should be centered for mobile. I think text center is much better for mobile. And then for large screens, I'm going to say text left. So it's going to be centered on mobile, and then on large screens, it's going to go back to the left. Yeah, I think that's better. And this is not a good UI. This is because of the padding. Okay, so we're going to have that. Let's style this out. So inside this span, let's give this a class name of border, and padding all round of 3 and rounded dash full. Make everything rounded. Okay, that is not good. Let me say padding on the y of 3, padding on the x of 6. That should do it. There we go. And then let's give this list item a class name of flex, so that this becomes a flex box. Okay, and then item center, and then let's give it a gap of 2 to separate it out just a bit here. Okay, this, I think 6 is a bit big, but 5 would be a bit too small, I think. Yeah, it's just a bit oval. It is barely noticeable, but if you look keenly at it, it is just a bit oval. But it can work as it is anyways. So let's see. So we have shop online, then we have number 2 and number 3. So let's create number 2 and 3. So copy this list item, copy 1 and 2. Then we change this to 2, then change this to 3. And then we can copy, come on, we can copy this and paste it here, and then copy this and paste it here and save it, and then let's see what we have. Okay, fantastic. And then now what we need to do is change this UL into a flex box. So let's say flex, which is going to align them like this. Okay, and then we're going to say items dash center and justify dash center. Let's see how it looks. Okay, nothing much changes. Let's give it a gap of about 4, and then let's add a flex of wrap, so that on mobile screens they're going to automatically go into the next line. Okay, on mobile screens I don't want this. I want them to be aligned here, right? So let's remove item center here. Let's remove item center, which should bring them back here. Is it item center or justify center? Okay, justify center, so that they are aligned like this. And then right at around, see how flex wrap works? So if they reach the end of the screen, or if they can fit here, then they're going to fit. Otherwise, they're just going to go into the next line. That is what we want to happen. Okay. And then what I want to do is, I always want this to be here. So let's say that for large screens, then items dash center. And then for large screens, let's say justify dash center. And then for large screens, let's say flex no wrap, so that it removes the wrapping here. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. And then the next section that we need to build is this one, which is this section, speed through checkout. So speed through checkout, should I add this to be a separate section or what? Because I don't want to just create a component that has this, Anyway, that's what React helps us to do, so let's do it. So inside pay online, let's create a speed through checkout. So speed.js, let's say RFC. Let's add in this h2. So let's return a fragment first of all. Oops, what did I do? There we go. Let's return a fragment, let's return an h2, and then paste this in, and then some text that says this. Oops, paragraph. And then let's go ahead, and I want to copy the class names of the h2 from, where is it? Request payments. No, should be section 2. This is where we have an h2, right? Here, yes. Copy these class names, and then I can paste them inside here. And then I forgot, let me grab all of this, and then let's return a div. And then we're going to have that. Let's see. Of course, I haven't rendered it, so I need to render it inside pay online. Let's render speed. There we go. And we should have it. Speed is not defined. I always forget to import them. So there we go. So speed through checkout, and then we have this. So let's begin to style it out to look just a bit better. The first thing that we need to do is we need to remove this margin bottom. We don't need it. I mean, we're going to play around with it, but currently we don't need it. And then inside this div, let's give this a class name of text-center and padding on the X of 8, and then a max width of, let's say, 3XL, and then MX of auto. There we go. Let me see how this looks. All you need, okay. And then let me add a padding on the Y of 20. There we go. Fantastic. Now let me see. What is this margin? What is this margin? This one. I don't want this one. Okay, so let me see margin bottom of 4. 8 was a bit too big, and then we're going to have this. Okay, that is still too small. Let's say 6. I think 6 works better. 6 works better. And then let's reduce the max width here to 2XL. Okay, I think that can work for this component. And then next, let's begin to build this out. Now see how this part and this part and this one and this one are kind of the same. I don't want to create a separate component for all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one component, and then we are going to create these particular sections. And I think we should be fine doing that. So therefore, let's go ahead and do this. Let me create a new component inside Pay Online, create a new file, and we're going to call it, let me call it image grid grids.js, and then let's say RFC. And then inside the Pay Online, let's go ahead and render image grids. And then we should be able to see image grids right here. And so therefore, let us begin. Let us begin. So we're going to do this, therefore. We need to create, let's first return a fragment, and then we need to create a section. Okay. Now this section, I'm only creating this first one just to see how the structure is going to be. So we're going to have a section. This section is going to have a class name of image grid hero, and then inside here we're going to have an article. This article is going to have an h2, or let me call it an h3 really, that says this. Copy and paste it here, and then below this h3 we're going to have a paragraph that says this, and paste it here. And then below this paragraph we're going to have a button that says read more about currency conversion. And this button, by the way, is styled the same as this one, so we're just going to copy and paste the styles. So once you have this, then let's save it, and we should see this on the screen. Now that we have this on the screen, then let me go ahead and let's begin to style this image grid hero. So below this, let's say that for the dot image grid hero, we want the height to be 600 pixels. We want the background to come from URL, and it's coming from /images / pay online / it is called what? Is it this one? I hope it is this one. And then let me see, let's save it. Let me see what we have on the screen. Okay, we have this. 600 is a bit too big, so let me reduce it to 500. Okay, and then we need this to come here. So this one comes here. How do you do that? Flexbox, and then align items end, and then justify content to the end. That should do it. Let's try it out. So inside this article, sorry, let's say this article, the structure is messed up. Let's grab this article, let's place it inside the div, and then inside this div we're going to give it a class name of flex, and then items end, and then justify end. We should bring everything here. Okay, and then inside this div, I want to give this div, I should give it another class, but I've been using overlay all through, so let me just use a class of overlay. And then I'm going to say that for the image grid hero, and then for the class of overlay, I want to give it a height of 500 pixels, and then this will cause it to move here. Or not? What? Oh, it is because of this. It's because of justify end. This should be justify. Is it end or center? Justify center should bring it back here. No, justify end, and then item center should bring it here. Okay, there we go. And then we just need to limit this div so that it doesn't go all the way to the end. So let's give it a max width of 6xl, and then mx auto should bring it here still. Okay, not mx auto. Let me see. Really? Okay, margin left auto, which should bring it here. Okay, okay. 6xl is big for this. We need to reduce this to 3xl so that doesn't go all the way here. Okay, let me see, how does this look? We need to limit this paragraph, right? So let's give this paragraph a class name of width dash half dash 1/2. And then we can take this back to 6xl. I think it's going to work. No, 3xl. And you know what, I'm making a mistake here because I'm styling this for desktops first, so it's going to be a pain to style it for mobile. So let's just see, 2/3. Okay, 2/3 works okay. And then now let's go ahead and copy the styles for this speed for the h2 that is here. Let's copy these styles and then let's paste them inside this h3, but we're going to reduce the size of this h3 because this is too big. And then let me see, margin bottom 6, that should work. And then for the button, let me go inside the hero. Let's copy the classes for this button. So this one for the hover underline, and then let's paste them here. And that should do it. Okay. And then let's remove this margin 10. Let's reduce it to margin 4. And then we don't want text center here, so let's remove it. There we go, looking nice. Okay, looking not so nice. Let's say that for large screen, the text should be 4xl. Make it bigger. Yeah, I think that looks okay. That does look okay. Now let's see how it's going to look on mobile. Yeah, this is going to be an issue on mobile. I mean, not such an issue, but still an issue nevertheless. First of all, let's add a padding on the x of 8 to push this inwards just a bit. Then let's say text dash center, push everything to the center. And then here, let's say that this style is one you're going to apply for large screens, so that this goes here. Okay, and then this doesn't look all that right because of this shot. What you can do is we can play around with this background. Oh, wait a minute. Why did I forget to play around with this background? See how they're repeating? I don't want that. So let's fix that for both images actually. So right here, let's set the image no repeat. Repeat, how do you spell? I mean, it's right here. And then center and then cover. And then copy this and let's paste it. Where is it? Let's paste it here on the hero image. Okay, so that now the hero image doesn't repeat, as you can see, and then this one also doesn't repeat. That's looking much better. Okay, so this is how it looks. Okay, now this is much better on mobile, right? And then on large screens, we want to play around with this once again, because remember we have changed the styles. We changed the styles when we change this to text center. So let's say that for large screens, the text should go back to the left, which will bring it here. And that will, actually, that's it. There we go. So this is this section complete. So now we need to build out this next section. And this section is just a bit easier because this one doesn't have a background image. This is just an image that we are getting. So let's go ahead and do this. Outside of this section, let's create another section. And inside this section, we're going to have two articles. So article number 1 is going to have an h2 that says this, ways to pay. And then it's going to have a paragraph below it that says this. Come on. And then below this article, we're going to have another article that says the image. And the image here, I'm just going to call it on once again, because it's hard to think of names. So let's just grab this. You know what, let me call it font visa because I've seen this here. So let's go ahead and import this image. So let's say import on visa from / images / pay online / the name is called this one should be this one. Let me copy. Can I copy and paste it here? Oh, I cannot. So let's say buy on website hero FGX. It should be, let me see, should be n2 1x.png. That should be the correct image. Let's save it. Let's see what we have. And can't resolve this. This is not called hero. It is called, oh, it doesn't have the hero here. Let's see. Really? Buy underscore on websites underscore n2. Oh, it's a JPEG image. Really? It's a JPEG image. And there we go. So we have it right here. Okay. So now let's begin to style this out. So below this, we're going to have this section. And for this section, I'm going to give this a class name of grid and grid columns -1 with a gap of 8. Then let me see how it's going to look. I mean, nothing really changes that much. But inside here, we're going to give it a padding on the Y of 10 for small screens, and then for large screens, we're going to see padding on the Y of 20. And then let's give it a padding on the X of 8 to push everything inwards just a bit. Okay. And then we are going to do this. We're going to say text center. And then for large screens, we want to set the text to the left. Okay. And then let's copy the classes of this one. So copy these classes. Well, this one was an H3. So just to maintain everything, let me also turn this into an H3. Just so that we can maintain uniformity. Oops. I deleted the text. So it says ways to pay. Ways to pay. Okay. And then let's save it. Nothing should change here except the styles for this. Okay. And then now all we need to do is add a max width and then display this here. And I want the image to be to the center. See how here it is not centered? So let's fix that by giving this a class name of block and then mx auto, which is going to center it. And then what we're going to do now is right around large screens. Inside this section, we're going to say that for large screens that the grid columns should be 2. We should now display them side by side. Okay, fantastic. And then let me see if item center works here. Does it? Oh, it works. Okay. And then let's give it a max width of 6xl and mx of auto so that it brings everything just a bit to the center. There we go. Looking nice. Nice. Fantastic. Okay. And then we have the next section, which is this blue section, which is basically just an H2 or an H3 or a paragraph, depending on how you want it. But first, let me just copy this text. Sorry, copy the color so that I can add this background, the background color. And then we're going to create another section below this section. So section, and then let's just have it as an H2. And then inside this H2, it's going to say all of this. But first, let me add in the background color. So style is equal to background color, and then set it to this. And then inside this H2, we're going to copy all of this. Copy and paste it here. And then let me copy the styles for this, but we're going to change them up a bit. So paste them here. And then let's say that for 2XL screens, then the text is going to be 6XL to make it massively big. And then here we need the text to be white. Text white, and then we don't need the margin bottom. Let's save it. Let's see what we have. We should see this. Okay, this is a bit too big. Let's remove this. Let's see how it looks. Oops. Let's change it to 5XL. Yeah, let's work with 5XL. And then let's go inside the section, give this a class name of padding Y of 20 and then padding X of 8. And then we're going to give this each two a max width of 6XL and an MX of auto, which is going to center it. And we're going to have that, a voila. Fantastic. 6XL is a bit too big. See how this is uniformly here to the end, right? It's a bit too big, right? If only you could answer me in real time. Let's reduce it to 5XL. Let's see. Yeah, let's work with 5XL. That is much better. And then we have the next section here that says this, so buyers never beware. And of course, you already see what we're going to do. We're just going to copy paste this section here. Only this time the image is going to come first. So let's go ahead and do that. So this section, so copy this section, copy, and then below this section, paste it in. And then this, we're going to call this phone buyers. So phone buyers. And then we need this image to come first. So cut it out from here and place it above this article. And then margin bottom 6, that can remain. So buyers never beware. Copy. Come on. Annoying. Imagine getting annoyed at a copy and paste function. So copy and paste it here. And then we have a button here that says more about PayPal buyer protection. Really? Really? Oh my god, this is really annoying. Oh my god, this is really annoying. Can they copy it? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let's copy the styles of this button from here. So let's go ahead and get that button right here. Copy and paste the styles here. This can remain, this can remain. Now we just need to get the correct image. So buyers never beware. So let's go ahead and say import phone buyers from / images / pay online / and it is called, actually what's its name, buy underscore on websites. Oops, it should be n3 and then lvc underscore 1x.jpg. I hope that is the correct image. We're going to find out in a moment. Let's see. Okay, that is the correct image. You can see it was all just a bit of copying and pasting and then just playing around with the alignment, the layout, and that is the entire section complete. And then now we need to add this final section. So for the final section, we're going to copy the image grid hero. So this part, we're going to copy this section, and then we're going to go to the bottom of this section, paste it here. I think the image grid hero can remain. I think these styles can remain, but we're going to play around with this because you can see that now the text is here instead of the text being here, right? So let's go ahead and say image grid hero. You know what? If we sustain this class here, it's going to take in this image, which we don't want. Now it is possible to change the image manually still using this class, but it's going to mess up a bit. So let me call it image hero -2. Yeah, let's call it, oh, you know what, let's add two classes. So image grid hero and then image grid hero -2. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want the styles for this to apply, and then I want this style here so that I can just change the background image here. I think that is much better. And then let's change the text. So copy and paste it, and then copy and paste it, and then we don't need this button, so we can remove this button. Okay. Do we need this class here? I'm still not sure, but let me just remove it, and then let's save it. And then if we look at our application, then you see the image that comes up, and then you see where this is. We don't want this to happen. We want this to come here and then the image to change. So first of all, let's change the image. So let's go ahead and say .image grid hero -2, and then set the background to URL, and it is going to be url./images / pay online / oops, really, pay on, I hate this, pay online / it should be this one, and then set the background repeat to no repeat, and then set it to center, and then cover, and then that should change the image. There we go. And then we need this to come here. So the way we do that is by going here, saying justify start. We should bring it here, bring it here, bring it here. No, we have margin left, we have margin left, margin left. This should now say margin right. Bring it here. Okay, really? Okay, there we go. There we go. So margin right here, and then let me see. Increase this to 6XL so that this doesn't go all the way to the end. Okay, reduce it to 6XL. Wait, what? We need this to be here. We need it to be here. How do we do that? Is it by reducing this? This is going to reduce this. Okay, then we need to say MX auto. I think we need to say MX auto here. Is it? Of course not. So MX auto, and then increase this to 6XL. Sometimes, guys, it's just annoying, just annoying. Okay, so there we go. So it's now correct. It's now in the correct position. And what we need to do therefore is this. We need to change the color of this to white. So remove this, change it to text white, give this a class name of large screens, let's say width dash 2/3, and then change the text to white. Okay, so 2/3 is a bit big. Let's say width dash 1/2. There we go. Okay, let me just confirm that everything looks okay even on mobile. Okay, yeah, I think it looks okay even on mobile. It looks okay. So let's go ahead and deal with the, I think it is the final section here, or no, the two final sections. So we need this part. Okay, so we just continue building them out inside this section. I feel like this is not a good idea. Let's create a new component here. So create a new file. Let's call it what? Section 1, 2, 3. Let me call it section 4.js. Let's say RFC. And then inside section 4, let's return a fragment. Let's return a section. This first section is going to be this one. So let me place it inside an h2 and say 72. Is it 72? And then this is a superscript. So let me place it inside a span, and then let's say superscript, let's say %, because we need this to be just a bit higher. And then we can add in this part. Let me let's say an h2, and then let me change this into a paragraph. I think that's much better, which is going to be this part. And then below this section, we're going to have another section that says this. So an h2 that says no hidden costs, no surprises. And then below this h2, we're going to have a paragraph that says this. Copy and paste, and then below this paragraph that says a button, more about fees. Okay, so now let's begin to style this out. First, let me get this background color because it is the easiest to do. So copy this, and then inside this section, let's add a style. Let's say background color, and then set it to this, and then let's give it a class name. So below this, give it a class name. Let's say padding y of 20. That should be fine. And then inside this h2, let me just copy the styles of this h2 from here, copy and paste them here, and then change this to text white. And then we can copy this one and paste it inside this h2. Oops, is that correct? Oh yes, that is correct. That is correct. Then change this to blue 600. Let me see, and then we need to go inside this paragraph give this a class name of text dash white, and then inside this button give this a class name of font dash bold and text dash white, and on hover we need an underline. Okay, let's say margin top of 10, and then inside, okay, not let me not add a margin here, let me add it on the paragraph. Let's margin on the top and bottom of the paragraph of 10 to push away from this and from this, and then that should be this section complete. I feel like the padding Y of 20 is a bit too small, so let me say that for large screens the padding Y should be 32 to increase it. And then let me do the same for this upper section. So for this section here, give this a class name of that, and then inside this paragraph give this a class name, let's say padding on the Y of 8, padding on the X of 16. I don't know whether that is going to work, but we're going to find out in a moment. Let me see. Okay, let me say border, and then border dash blue dash 600. Okay, let's say margin bottom 8, let's say rounded of 4 to make it completely rounded. Okay, and then inside this span, okay, you know what, we need to increase this, so let's say text dash 5xl, and then inside this span let's reduce it, let's give it a class name of text dash, let me say 4xl. Save it, and then we need to render this. So inside pay online, let's render section 4, and let's remember that we are importing it from pay online so that we don't import the wrong component. Let's save it, let's see what we have, and we have this. Okay, not the best looking, but you can see that it is almost there. I was telling it blindly. So let's begin to make it better. Let's make it better by turning this paragraph into an inline block. Inline block, so that this now becomes here rounded. Okay, that is not good. That's why they don't want to use padding. Let's say padding Y16. Yeah, I do not want to use padding for this reason, because I can't make it completely rounded like easily enough. So let me say width of 16 and height of 16. That should make it rounded. Yeah, but it does that. See, now that's why they not annoying. So let me say padding Y. Padding Y, what did I use? I used 8, so let me say padding Y 4, padding X of 8. What happens? So padding X of 8 is okay. Let me say padding X of 6. Okay, and then let me increase the padding Y to 10. Okay, let's say 9. Or 9, not 19. Let's say 8. No, let's say 9. 9 is the most. Oh, you know what? 10 actually works. 10 actually works. And then we need to change this text to blue dash 600, and then we need to change the font into light, font dash light. There we go. And then we need to bring this here. So let me go inside this section, change this into a flex box, and then flex dash column, and then item the center, and then justify dash center, and then text dash center as well, and then padding X of 8. Bring everything here. Fantastic. And then on mobile screens it also looks nice because of the padding X of 8 here. Then let me see, we need to deal with this section next. So here let's say text dash center, but for large screens, actually not large screens, even the text still remains to the center. Let's say padding X of 8 to push it away from the edges, and that almost does it. We just need to limit the width of this. So let me say max width dash 4xl and mx of auto. We should limit it just a bit. Oops, that is not what I wanted. Let's remove this from here. Let's add it to the paragraph. Let's reduce it to max width dash large. Too small. Let's say XL. Let me see. Yeah, That should do it. That should do it. Fantastic. Okay, now you know what? Now I'm thinking like the padding Y of 32 is a bit too big. It's a bit too overkill. So let's remove it from here. Then let me remove it. Where did I add it? Here. I think that should be, yeah, this is much better. This is much better. And then finally we can add in this section. Now for this section, I'm just going to use the component that we created, that is called sign up, I think, because the footer, we already have the footer. So let me use this sign up. The sign up should come from components homepage, and it is called sign up. So inside our pay online here, right below this, I want to import sign up. And sign up, let me import it. So import sign up from dot slash where is it? Should be dot slash pages. Is it? Why can't I find it? Wait, dot slash components, because we want to go inside this folder. Want to go inside this folder. So components, and then homepage, and then sign up. That is the correct one. It should now appear here. There we go. There we go. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Looking nice. Looking quite nice. And that is this page complete. So in the next video, we are going to start out with the send payments page. Let me see how it looks. So send payments, the concept I think remains the same. The concept remains the same, ways to pay, and you can see that, oh wait a minute, this part and this one and this one, we're just going to use the components. Oh, okay. So that means, oh my god, that means then I would have to separate this one from this one. Why did I have to place them together? Anyway, let's just do it right now before I forget. So let me create a new file that is called hidden costs.js, and then inside hidden cost, let me say rfc, and then let me go ahead and grab this section, cut it out, and then let me display it here. Let's return a fragment first of all. Let's have that hidden costs, and then below this, let's render hidden costs. And that should not change anything here, but now we can reuse this component when you're building this part out, so that we don't have to keep on doing everything over and over again. But yeah, that looks nice. It does look nice, if I do say so myself. And this is an easy page, as you can see. So in the next video, we're going to begin with this. So see you in the next video.